G'day cunts. Episode 8. Same as before, honest reviews, no money changing hands, no favours being done. These are honest. I'll tell you if I think it's shit, I'll tell you if I think it's good. As usual, the comments will contain the description, the links to the song, so you can give them a listen and see what you think, see if I'm right, see if I'm wrong. Yeah, on with the show. First up is a band called Avalanche, with a song called Permanent Ink. Don't know a great deal about these guys except for they are from New South Wales and they wanted me to give this a listen. This is butt rock. It is unapologetic, big, dumb rock and roll, which is not a bad thing if you're into that. These guys obviously grew up on AC/DC, the Angels, shit like that. There's one riff that really sounds like it's been lifted almost directly from Let There Be Rock. You can hear in the background there. But, you know, not a bad thing. They play it well. And I'd rather listen to these guys than Jet or Airborne or fucking Wolfmother, because these guys seem to really, there's no fakeness about them. Just looking at this video clip and the way they play, they're not posing. They've got a female member. They don't put her up the front. She's given equal camera time to everyone else. I kind of appreciate that she's not a gimmick. She's there because she can play. And what I did like about this, I'd kind of written it off as just, you know, AC/DC, right? But towards the end, there's a bit of a breakdown and the song completely changes and becomes much, much heavier for a little bit till it finishes. And I really dug that, and I'd really like to hear if they do that for other songs. Because this is pretty run-of-the-mill rock and roll. Very good at what they do. I'd have to be in the mood to listen to it, but that last little bit really makes a difference. I'm going to give this 3.5 butt rockers out of 5. Airborne, Permanent Ink, not bad at all. If you're in the mood for some rock and or roll, these are your guys and girl. Second up for today is Scizor Climate. I'm probably saying that wrong, so I'm going to spell it SZKLO, with a short EP called They Watch Us Burn. This is kind of D-beat, crustcore, bit of grind, 3 tracks wedged into one, but really good. Sounds like it was recorded in a dustbin, but you know, most crust kind of does sound like that. But yeah, not bad at all. Reminded me a bit of Doom. I liked it. I'd give it 4 unwashed scabby hippies out of 5. Don't know how to say the fucking name. But yeah, it's a very short, fast, furious little thing. Out on Feral Records out of Victoria. Never heard of these cunts before, but would like to hear them again. They're not kind of run-of-the-mill. There's a bit more going on than your average, you know, crustcore band where it's just a bleh and done. These guys have some riffs about them. I quite liked it. Check them out. Up next is an album called Dumb Shit by Cletus Vortex. Now, before we start, I know Cletus very well. I'm in a noise outfit called Malat. He actually helps us out with our live shows, does a lot of our videos and stuff. This is him solo. It's called Dumb Shit. It's a full-length album and it's fucking weird. And I mean that in a good way. This is something that not everyone's going to dig. It's lots of glitchy computery noises, sampled vocals, distorted speaking in the background, clips from TV, that kind of shit. It's random, it's bizarre, it's like someone threw your Nintendo in the fucking microwave while it was playing, and it just sounds weird. It's not for everyone. If you like weirdness, this is fucking weird. It's not rhythmical, there's not really a tune you can kind of hang your hat on for the most part. It does get repetitious in parts, but you can't really click your fingers to it. And you get some strange fucking looks cranking this at the stoplights in the car with the windows down. He's done video clips for a lot of these songs as well, and they are seizure-inducing, bizarre mishmashes of popular culture. It's just fucking bizarre. It'll give you nightmares. Cletus Vortex dumb shit. I like it, so I'm going to give it 4 dumb cunts out of 5. You probably won't, unless you like the really weird shit. But, you know, if you've got neighbours that are annoying you, this at full volume will probably piss them off. You know, if you want to scare someone away, if the Jehovah's Witnesses come to the door, you can play this weirdness. They're not going to come inside. It's unsettling, it's bizarre, it's Cletus Vortex, dumb shit. Check it out. Next up is a band called The Dead Set, which is a great name, by the way, with their album also called The Dead Set. Again, with the self-titled albums, come on guys, have a think, make something else up, it's a bit boring. Interesting artwork, big red eagle on it. It's a long album, 40 odd minutes. I feel like there's about 20 minutes of really good stuff and 20 minutes of stuff that just didn't do it for me. It's a weird little schizophrenic album, kind of different styles, a bit punky in parts, a bit alt-rocky, almost grungy. It's decent enough. It's too long for me. I found myself kind of drifting off. The real hero of this is their guitarist, who plays some really good leads and pulls songs which would kind of be ordinary and boring back into something more interesting. Vocalist, there's times when he sounds like he's really straining to hit the high notes, and I didn't care for that at all. When he was just singing normally, it sounded quite good, but there were times where he was trying to aim for higher notes, which just sounded like he was trying too hard to hit notes he couldn't hit. So again, it's a weird album. Some of it was good. There's some good riffs in here. Their lead player's shit hot, but there was also some kind of stuff that dragged. The slower paced stuff didn't really do it for me. I think they're best off when they play it a bit quicker. The production's alright, but a very, maybe too produced. Very smooth and slick, and maybe being a bit more raw might have helped them out a little bit here. It's not bad though, they're not terrible musicians. Some of the songs are good, some of them, nothing's bad, but some of it's just a bit dull and uninteresting for me. I'm going to give them 3 dead birds out of 5. The Dead Set by The Dead Set. Give it a listen. There's probably, because there's such a few styles on this, there's probably something on there that you'll like. There's probably a lot there that you won't. But yeah, caps off to the guitarist because he plays some great leads. Vocalists, not so much. The Dead Set. Up next is the fucking awfully named Good Time Ozzy Bogglers. Good Time Ozzy Bogglers, the worst fucking name I've ever heard. The song's called I'm Grumpy. I saw these guys last year, and before they came out to Sydney from Melbourne, there was a lot of hype. A lot of people were telling me, oh, you've got to check these guys out, you're going to love them. I didn't see what the hype was about. They weren't bad, but didn't really float my boat. This song, however, is the first one I've heard of theirs that I kind of dig. It's a bit slower than most of their stuff. It's basically a guy just fucking ranting and raving about shit that's pissing him off. Something I can relate to. Yeah, I quite like this. The film clip's kind of funny. It's got kangaroos being punched and punching people. Kangaroos taking their revenge. Yeah, no. Good Time Ozzy Bog. I fucking hate that name. It is the dumbest name in fucking rock and roll. But this is not a bad song. They've had a couple of songs released lately that are a bit faster but also good. Yeah, so this was something I could appreciate because, you know, I am a grumpy cunt and the song's called I'm Grumpy. I'm going to give this one 3.5 grumpy cunts out of 5. Borderline 4. If it was a bit longer, I'd probably give it a 4. I quite like this. Better than some of the other stuff of theirs I've heard, but yeah. Good Time Ozzy Bogglers, I'm Grumpy. Up next, The Kids. The song is called The Family Situation, which is a vault track, whatever that means. Let's be honest, I'm on the same record label with one of my bands as these guys are, so before anyone accuses me of bias, that's out there in the open. Now, I wanted to hate this, and the reason I wanted to hate this, there's two of them. Number one, the drummer's dad owns the record label. So, you know, how lucky are they? Their fucking dad, one of the guys' dads owns a fucking record label, so, you know, maybe that's a bit jealousy, lucky cunts, whatever. The other reason I really wanted to hate this, I saw them live last year. They opened for TSOL. Now, the music was quite good. I quite liked what they played. What I didn't like was the inter-song banter. It was really cringeworthy. They came off as very cocky and up themselves. A lot of the time they were talking about how many Spotify hits they got, pulling their dicks over how many likes they had on social media, which was a bit weak. No cunt cares about that, especially if you're opening for TSOL. You're not going to impress anyone. That being said, they are young. You know, if I was 18-year-old in a band opening for TSOL, I'd probably be a cocky, insufferable cunt too, so there is that. So I went into this wanting to be able to pick fault, but it's not bad. It's not the greatest thing I've ever heard, and I don't think, you know, they'd say that was either, but it's not bad at all. Kind of skate punky, a little bit of early kind of New York hardcore maybe in it. I liked the way the vocalists during some of the verses crammed a shitload of words into a very short time and you could understand them all. So hats off to you, vocalist. That was pretty good. He does have a bit of an annoying American twinge at times. Hopefully he'll work that out of himself, because these guys are young. They wrote this song apparently when they were 16. Pretty fucking good considering that. Pretty good in general. There are a lot of worse bands out there. There's a good lead break in it at the end, guitar solo. Drums are good, bass is good, the song's good. Yeah, when you see them live, hopefully they'll have grown out of that pull on your dicks over Spotify hits thing, because that really did put me off. So if you're listening, kids, stop it. No cunts impressed. But keep doing this, because this is quite good. They called this a vault track because it was recorded a while ago, and apparently their sound has grown and matured. Yeah, not bad. I'm going to give it 3.5 young pricks out of 5. If this is them when they were young and not as good, the new stuff will hopefully be quite good. Worth checking out. The kids, the family situation. And it's my favourite part. The part where I rip someone to shreds. This last song is by a band called What You're Made Of. Now previously I'd said that the Good Time Ozzy Bogglers had the worst name in rock. I take that back. At least their name's kind of funny and you go, what? That's a fucking shit name. What You're Made Of. You hear that name when you already know the song's going to be a steaming turd. The song itself is called What Does Marcellus Wallace Look Like? So I'm going to give them an extra point because the song title is funny. That's the only concession they're getting from me, because this is dreadful. Kids, if you want to start a pop punk band, punch yourself in the mouth instead, because we have too many whiny shit bands. We don't need anyone else like this. This guy is fucking whiny vocal with his pseudo-American accent, just a sanitized fucking production, just crap. The drums are so synthetic sounding, the vocals are whiny, the riffs has got nothing to it. Just a turd of a song. It's not objectively terrible in that all the instruments are played at the right times and hit the right notes, but there's no soul to it at all. This is the blandest, cheesiest, shittiest pop punk you could imagine. Flush this shit down the toilet. What you're made of? Well, you're not made of fucking much, to be honest. You fucking shit. I'd rather go back to the dentist than listen to this. I'd rather slam my head in a car door than listen to this. This is just bland. And a brief scan of their Facebook page. These cunts take themselves way too fucking seriously as well. They think they're good. You're not. Just the worst. Yeah. I don't even want to insult them, to give them that credence because they're that fucking bad, they're not even worth insulting. Stop. Anyone thinking that we need another fucking pop punk band, stop. Think. Do something else. Shoot yourself in the face, whatever. Don't start another whiny pop punk band. If you don't come from LA, don't sing with a fake American accent. Awful, 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 awful. I wish there was such a thing as retrospective abortion. I feel like finding these people's mothers and slapping their mothers just on principle for producing this and not saying, kids, you suck, don't do it. Just shit. Just shit. That's all from me. Fuck off.